Hey, I'm Mike Gross, and this is Nittany Next. No Penn State game coming up this Saturday, so we're going to use this opportunity because it's exactly at the halfway point of the regular season to kind of take stock of what's happened to this point and look ahead at what might happen next. Penn State coming off what I think was probably the best performance of the James Franklin era on Saturday. They actually beat a previously undefeated team, Maryland, 38-14, and they did it almost entirely by running the ball. It was probably the best outing for Penn State's offensive line, again, since James Franklin has been here and since the sanctions have knocked the program backwards in terms of depth and the number of athletes on the squad and all that. So you have to look at it as a big step forward. And I think one of the keys to the first half of the season in the positive standpoint is Trace McSorley, the quarterback who's a rookie starter, kind of caddied for Christian Hackenberg before this point, has really been terrific and really looks like he's figured out Penn State's new offense to the point where he can really be a threat with his arm and his legs, and really was a threat as a runner, and a lot of it planned running, zone option type running in the Maryland game. The other thing about Penn State is they've kind of held their defense sort of barely together as they've had really an almost ridiculous number of injuries, including their entire starting linebackers. So this open week in the schedule, so you really have 2 weeks to prepare for the rest of the second half of the season. Penn State ought to be able to get a lot healthier. I think they're going to have at least a couple of those starting linebackers back, Jason Cabinda and Brandon Bell. I think they will probably be as healthy as they have been all season when they play next. Now, the next game is it's Ohio State at Beaver Stadium, October 22nd. They're the number 2 team in the country, and they are an unbelievably big challenge for Penn State. It might, probably, frankly, too much to ask. But going forward, especially after the way Penn State played on Saturday against Maryland, it's a lot easier to see them getting to 6, 7, 8 wins and having this season sort of be not just a placeholder going forward, but really a pretty good season and a season that can propel Penn State into the future and into the next couple years, the last 2 years of James Franklin's contract. So the news is much better for Nittany Nation now than it was 2 weeks ago, coming off of that disastrous loss to Michigan when Penn State won 2 in a row at home against teams that they were probably capable of beating them. And things look positive now, I think, going forward. That's it. You can follow all of our Penn State coverage on Lancaster Online, Facebook, and Twitter.